What if the life you're praying for isn't created by asking for more, but by becoming grateful for what you already have? Praying isn't just for religious people. Whether you see prayer as talking to God, connecting with a higher presence, or simply a form of meditation and reflection, I think there's something powerful about the practice itself. Because maybe prayer isn't just about what you're asking for. Perhaps it's the state you enter when you pray. For me, prayer is about calming my nervous system, slowing down, taking a few deep breaths, and taking my attention away from everything that I'm missing. And then I move into gratitude. I thank God, presence, spirit, whatever word resonates with you, for what I already have. Because I've heard this idea before. When you pray for something, maybe you don't need to pray as if it's something that you're desperately trying to receive. You can pray from the feeling that it's already been given. And interestingly, that isn't so different from the idea behind manifestation. Manifestation often talks about the law of assumption. You don't simply receive what you want. You move through life with the identity and the emotional state of the person who already has it. So instead of constantly thinking, I want this because I don't have it, you begin asking, how would I feel if I already had it? Maybe you would feel secure, maybe grateful, maybe lucky, maybe peaceful, maybe whole. And that feeling is the part worth paying attention to, because there will always be more to want. There will always be something else to want. A bigger house, more money, a better relationship, another achievement, another destination. We live in a culture where more is constantly presented as the answer. But there's a strange paradox here. You can have everything you once wanted and still feel like it's not enough. You can have very little by conventional standards and still feel greatly deepful for your life. That's why I think gratitude is so powerful. It changes what you notice. Think about the things you probably take for granted every day. Your family, your friends, the people who love you, the opportunity to wake up tomorrow, your eyes allowing you to see the world, your arms and legs allowing you to move through it, your mind allowing you to think, your senses allowing you to experience life. These things can sound incredibly simple, but there are people who would give anything to have what we casually move through our days without even noticing. There will always be someone who has more, but there will also always be someone who is praying for the things that we currently take for granted. And when we constantly dismiss what we already have, because we're so focused on what we're missing, we reinforce the feeling of lack. We start looking for evidence that life isn't enough. But when we deliberately practice gratitude, something shifts. We start noticing more of what is good, more moments, more people, more opportunities, more beauty, more reasons to appreciate being alive. Whether you call it a change in your frequency, your mindset, your attention, or simply your emotional state, the experience is real. What you focus on shapes what you notice, and what you repeatedly notice shapes how you experience life. So I think there's an important question to ask when you're trying to manifest something. What is the emotional state of the reality I'm trying to create? If you want financial freedom, what do you imagine you'll feel? Security, peace, freedom? If you want love, what do you imagine you will feel? Seen, safe, connected? If you want success, what do you imagine you will feel? Proud, fulfilled, excited? Instead of obsessing over the thing itself, practice connecting with the feeling, because the goal isn't simply to acquire more, it's to become someone who can experience what they already have. There's a saying, when you have your health, you have 1,000 problems. But when you don't have your health, you have one problem. Although it's a little blunt, there's a lot of truth in that. Sometimes it takes losing something to really see how valuable it was. So here's a question that I love to sit with, especially during difficult times. If tomorrow you woke up with only the things that you were grateful for today, what would you have left? Your answer might surprise you, because even when life feels like it has taken everything from you, there is often still something. And sometimes gratitude isn't about pretending everything is wonderful. It's about finding one thing that is still good, even when everything else still feels difficult. That's an important distinction. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means refusing to let pain become the only thing you can see. This is where prayer and meditation become so powerful. Meditation is often described as a practice of being present in the moment. But the deeper purpose of that practice is that over time, you begin carrying that awareness with you. You train your mind to notice. You train yourself to return. So the next time you pray or meditate, try something different. Instead of spiraling down into everything you lack, spiral upwards into everything you can be grateful for. Start with the obvious things, then go deeper. Think of something that you haven't appreciated for a long time, then something you usually overlook, then something so ordinary you've stopped seeing it as a gift. And keep going. Because the beautiful thing about gratitude is that the more you look for reasons to be grateful, the more reasons you seem to find. Maybe that's the real practice. Not constantly asking, what else can I get? But learning to look around and say, look at everything I already have. And maybe when you genuinely feel that, you realize something quite profound. You weren't waiting for your life to begin, you were already living it. You were already living an amazing life.